Her daughter kept warning her about something terrifying in the dark, but she didn't believe her until she saw this. A mother grows increasingly concerned about her young daughter, Cora, who has been experiencing intense night terrors more and more frequently. To figure out what might be causing them, their family doctor suggests recording one of the episodes. So one night, as another episode begins, she starts filming. She only wanted to document what was happening, but ends up capturing something far beyond what she expected.
I'm scared.
Scared? Are we scared, baby? Come on here, pickle. Come here, pickle. Come on, pickle. It's okay. There's the vent right there, baby. See? The vent pushes the door. You're fine, okay? Be a big girl? Feel scared, just remember. Baby Lenny's here, Mommy's here. We're all gonna be together in the same house. It's gonna be okay. Let's go to bed. What's wrong, Cora? Sweetie, what are you afraid of? You're scaring me, honey. I don't see anything.
As the mother walks Cora back to her room, the door suddenly begins to close on its own. She brushes it off, assuming it's just airflow. But when they reach the bedroom, Cora suddenly stops. She refuses to go inside and stares toward the window in fear. Then, without warning, the blinds slam shut on their own. They both panic and run out of the room. But the creepiest part is noticed later, as the mother tries to calm Cora down and tells her she's a big girl. A faint whisper can be heard, as if something responds, "That's a good girl."
Big girl. It's okay. It's okay.
Later, while reviewing the footage, the mother notices something else. The air conditioning wasn't even on at the time, which means there was no airflow that could have closed the door.
So the AC was not on when the door closed. It's very loud. And you can hear it coming from the vent. The air vent could not have pushed this door closed in that other video because the air was not on, the AC was not on.
Skeptics in the comments begin to question the video. Some suggest the blinds might be controlled remotely, so the mother posts another clip to prove them wrong. But things only start to get even stranger.
So I'm coming into the room to show you the blinds, which I have opened back up to demonstrate how they are closed. It's not electronic, it's not battery powered, it's not creepy. Trying my best not to freak out. So, to close these blinds, you have to touch it and close it like that. That is the only way to close these blinds. There are no batteries or remotes here at all. No wires. You have to touch it and you have to close it like this. And there's no way I could have done that since I was standing on the opposite side of the room. And there's no way I could have closed all four at the same time.
After everything that happened, the mother admits they're planning to leave the house as soon as possible. She no longer feels safe staying there. But the real question still remains. What was Cora actually experiencing? And was something really there with her? What they witnessed doesn't fit into anything ordinary. So what do you think? Is this something paranormal? Or is there a logical explanation? Share your thoughts. In the next video, a man named Nick shared disturbing footage on his TikTok page from the house where he lives with his grandmother and takes care of her. According to him, she suffers from Alzheimer's disease, which sometimes causes her to stand motionless, staring at a single point, as if she's watching something that isn't really there. But this night felt different. While she stood there in silence, something happened that Nick still cannot explain. The camera captures a strange and unsettling moment that is difficult to dismiss as a coincidence. Watch closely. An object suddenly falls from the top of the refrigerator. There's no visible movement nearby. It simply drops. At that exact moment, the dog begins to growl, as if reacting to something that cannot be seen on camera. According to Nick, that was the moment he truly became uneasy. But things get even stranger when he shows what exactly fell.
Alright, so this is in response to last night. My grandma loves to collect little figurines. One of my grandma's little angels fell off the fridge last night.
If this small figurine was placed deep on top of the refrigerator, how could it have fallen on its own? Nick has no explanation. However, after watching the footage multiple times, he notices something even more unsettling.
Honestly, I'm a bit in disbelief, but no, I'm pretty sure it's just a plug-in charger. I brought my girlfriend Claire here so she can help demonstrate. But can you try to step in front of that? So it just does that. Move away. So that comment says that the Roomba doesn't do that unless someone's in front of it. My question is, like, why was he doing it last night? It is kind of creepy with a smiley face and everything.
Rewatching the footage, Nick notices another strange detail. The Roomba begins moving back and forth, as if something invisible is blocking its path. There is nothing visible in the frame, yet its behavior appears unusual and abrupt. Nick has no clear explanation, He only suggests that the device may have reacted to something in the room. And one night, while he was watching TV alone, something even more disturbing happened.
So, I was watching my show, and after last night, I'm definitely not leaving these lights on. But I was watching my show, and there's nothing there.
The robot is nowhere to be seen at that moment, making the dog's behavior impossible to explain. Both dogs suddenly freeze and stare intensely at a single point. According to Nick, there is nothing there. The fact that they are looking directly toward the kitchen makes the situation even more unsettling. Nick recalls that his grandfather, who passed away last year, once claimed he had seen Nick's grandmother standing in the kitchen at night, in complete darkness. However, it later turned out that no one had actually been there. And that's not the only reason Nick feels uneasy about that area of the house. Later that same night, after recording the previous video, another incident occurs. After moving the dogs into another room, he begins recording again. This time because the sound of the ice maker suddenly unsettled him. But during the recording, something else happens. Watch closely.
Whoa. Yo. Oh, that's cool. Jesus!
Suddenly, the Roomba, which had been calmly moving across the living room, flips over. There are no obstacles in its path. It appears to rotate nearly 180 degrees on its own, as if something unseen interfered with it. Frightened, Nick stops recording and uploads the video online. Viewers begin noticing details he missed. The vacuum was moving in an unusually straight pattern, which is not typical for that model. It also failed to stop at the edge of the stairs, something it had always done before. If the earlier incidents could be dismissed as coincidence, this moment completely unsettled Nick. Since then, nothing else unusual has happened, but no clear explanation has ever been found. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts. The security camera captured a terrifying moment. Mom and her children were calmly sitting in the living room. The kids were playing with their toys, and Mom sat on the couch, holding the baby in her arms. And then, something unexplainable happens. The cross on the wall flips over by itself. Watch closely. At first, the mother didn't notice the inverted cross. But after a moment she sees it and gets a little scared. She looks at the children, thinking maybe they accidentally moved it while playing. But what happens next?
Oh my gosh! Guys, this way, this way.
The inverted cross was only the beginning. A few seconds later, the TV suddenly turns off by itself. Mom and the children sit in confusion, trying to understand what's happening. And then, a toy crib suddenly slides across the floor, as if an invisible force pulled it. After that, the family panics and runs out of the room. But what could it be? What do you think? In late 2023, in Belgium, a YouTuber named Siaz and two of his friends decided to explore an abandoned campsite. Siaz had been there before. On December 29th, they arrived at the edge of the forest and stepped out of the car. Almost immediately, a loud dog bark echoed from deep within the woods. At the entrance to the trail, a fallen tree blocked the path. Carved into the trunk was a message asking visitors to respect the private area. Nearby was another warning sign: beware. According to Siaz, these signs were not there during his previous visit. Despite this, they climbed over the trunk and continued into the forest. After some time, in the silence, a creaking sound was heard, similar to a door slowly opening. There were no buildings nearby, making the source of the sound unclear.
Ja, ik hoor, ja, hoort je het? Die deur, die wint niet. Ik hoor zo...
Nee, dat was een beest.
Zeker?
Ja.
Oh,
Nee.
waar is dat?
Dat was een deur.
Dat is een deur, hè?
Hallo?
Ik kan de wind ook gaan, ja.
Schijnens, hè.
Oh. Uit,
Maak het op voetstap.
ik hoor van alles hier. Dit is zo fucking eng. Oh, water.
Hallo? Mogen wij hier binnenkomen? Moet je een boffen op wachten.
Dit is zo creepy, maat. Dit is zo creepy, what the fuck?
Realizing they might be trespassing on private property, they tried to find another route and turned onto a neighboring trail, hoping to avoid restricted land. Soon, they encountered another barrier, a large tree wrapped in red and white tape. A sign next to it read, "No entry, private property under video surveillance." Curiosity proved stronger. They crossed the barrier and continued deeper into the dark forest, determined to finish filming, and suddenly, something happened that they were completely unprepared for.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh. Dat is toch niet mijn auto of zo, hè? Hallo? 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 What the fuck? What the fuck? Hey!
As they stopped to adjust the lighting, a woman dressed in white stepped out of the darkness. She was holding an axe. She moved quickly and directly toward them. The distance between them closed within seconds. She did not respond to their shouting and did not slow down. Panic began. Later, the woman, whose behavior appeared disturbingly unnatural, was detained by police.
Hier blijven. Je gaat hier blijven. Ofwel moet ik mee met mijn vrouw mee, ofwel moet ik hier blijven. Ja, goed. Kan nog niet luisteren naar mij. Nee, ik ga niet luisteren. Hé! Beetje respect hebben voor me, ja? Dat is geen respect hebben voor mij. Nee, dat gaan we niet. Mevrouw? Nee, dat gaan we niet doen. Dat gaan we niet doen. Nee, gedaan. Nu is gedaan, ja?
The friends left the forest in a state of shock. The drive home was silent. Later, they admitted that only after some time did they fully understand how dangerous the situation had been. No one was physically harmed, but the incident became a traumatic experience. The memory of that night and the woman in white holding an axe still remains with them. Since then, they admit, not every abandoned place is worth exploring. In 2023, a user named Mike Runner uploaded a single video, and it became the first and last post on the account. In the description, it was stated that the night before, an abandoned elementary school had been visited, a place locals believed to be haunted. It was also written that something disturbing happened inside, and everything was captured on camera. Let's watch the video. From the very first seconds, something feels off. Despite the building looking abandoned, the electricity is working and the lights are on. There is no explanation why an empty building would still have power. Further down the hallway, missing person flyers are scattered across the floor. The atmosphere quickly becomes unsettling. Inside one of the classrooms, children's drawings are discovered. The drawings show children standing next to a tall, elongated silhouette. From this point on, the situation feels increasingly disturbing. In the silence, a long, unnatural sound echoes through the building. It resembles a scream, but not a human one. The figure stands out sharply against the empty surroundings and looks unnatural. Panic sets in. The camera begins shaking violently. Movements become chaotic, and heavy breathing can be heard. A desperate escape begins. The building is exited through a window. The strangest part is that this recording became the first and last upload on Mike Runner's account. Nothing was ever posted again. A woman named Sydney shares a story about a terrifying experience she once went through. That weekend, there was going to be a wedding, so Sydney rented a large and beautiful house. But her dog started behaving very strangely. It refused to go up the stairs. No matter how hard Sydney tried, the dog would freeze halfway up the staircase, as if it couldn't move. Later, Sydney decided to check the stairs and looked under the carpet to see if there was anything that could have caused the dog's strange behavior. But there was nothing there. Then Sydney began to think that maybe the problem wasn't the carpet at all, but something beneath the stairs. After all, there was a basement right under them, and it was locked. After hesitating for a moment, Sydney finally decided to check the basement. She turned on the light, slid her phone under the door to record what was inside, and this is what she captured. The door handle began to move on its own, as if someone was trying to turn it from the inside. Later that night, she noticed a curtain moving on the second floor, so Sydney went upstairs to check what was going on. It turned out the window was open, and she decided to close it. But at that moment, something unexplained happens again. Look closely. Something invisible begins to move the dog's leash, while the dog freezes once again at the same spot on the stairs. With fear, but also great curiosity, Sydney decides to try again. She slides her phone under the door once more, hoping she might capture something this time. Suddenly, something snatches the phone from her and drags it all the way down the basement stairs. Then, as if defying all logic, the phone begins to rise on its own. The next day, her sister and the owner of the house came to retrieve the phone and check the house. They wanted to make sure that no one else was inside. A woman named Diana posted unsettling footage on her page. In the video, she and her brother watch in shock as multiple vehicles begin pulling up behind their home.
Yeah, there's one cop car out there already.
There's one, that now there's... Looks like there's another one.
There's another one? Oh shit, you're right.
Oh, what the hell?
What the hell is... Here.
Look, I was telling you, there was... The light was on.
He's not coming out. They're doing a check.
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
Police are inspecting the trailer, and the footage shows several officers going inside. Based on that, there's clearly a reason for the check. According to Diana, the trailer belongs to her father and had been rented out, but the person living there hadn't been seen for over a week. That's what led to police being called. They go in to check if everything is okay, but during the inspection, they come across something disturbing.
Oh my god, they're calling...
It was later confirmed the man inside had already passed away. At the time, Diana and her brother had no idea. They were simply recording what was happening in their backyard. But as they moved closer to the trailer, something appears in the footage that Diana still can't explain. Watch carefully.
I'm
Right there, right there. Wait, they're going up to Tom's place. So wait, you said the light wasn't off?
Yeah, exactly. And I knew that something was going on. Ah, that's a lot of cops.
Holy shit, what the hell? Are they calling something in? I'm going back over. What was Tom doing?
A small figure is present in the footage, but at the time, neither Diana nor her brother noticed it. They don't recall seeing any kind of silhouette and believed nothing was there, but the footage shows otherwise. The video clearly reveals that something was there, even though, for some reason, they couldn't see it in real life. But the strangest part is the figure itself. At one point, it disappears behind a police officer. Diana believes this could explain why it remained unnoticed. As unsettling as all of this already is, it doesn't compare to what happens later. A few days after, Diana and her father decide to go inside the trailer, and almost immediately, she regrets going with him, because while they're inside, something happens that they were not prepared for.
Well, you probably know what the deal with the situation was here. Oh. You brought your phone?
Yeah. Okay.
Get ready. Could be a little smelly.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, God. Jeez. Oh my God. What was that?
At one point, a lifeless crow suddenly drops out of an open cabinet, startling Diana. She has no idea how it ended up there, or why it fell at that exact moment. But that's only the beginning. Once inside, Diana comes across something she wasn't prepared for. What she finds leaves her completely shaken. Watch carefully.
What? You
Yeah, it's for TikTok. Whoa. Wait a minute. Oh, fuck. Jesus. Wait, did this guy have a kid? What is this?
Yeah, this kid died too, like, I don't know, before. A long time ago.
Oh my God.
At first, the handprints might not seem like anything important, but they're the reason Diana refuses to go back to that trailer. At the time, she didn't think much of it. But later, while re-watching the footage at home, she notices something that immediately stands out and sends it to her brother. He confirms what she was already thinking. The figure in the video appears unusually small, closer to the size of a child. And that's when a disturbing thought crosses her mind. Could it be something connected to the man's child? After everything that happened that night, she no longer believes it was a coincidence. The size of the figure and the handprints don't seem like random details. There are too many things that line up to ignore. Considering everything that happened that night, Diana's theory doesn't seem so unlikely. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. In San Diego stands the historic Hotel del Coronado, which opened in 1888. Over the decades, the location has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted hotels in the United States. Guests and staff have repeatedly reported strange activity, flickering lights, electronics turning on by themselves, and objects falling from shelves without explanation. That's where Josh and Crystal decide to conduct their own nighttime investigation. During the recording, they notice movement inside one of the side rooms and quickly turn the camera toward it. They fail to capture the movement itself, but the camera still records a moment that turns out to be even more disturbing.
It's okay. I can see you. Come to me. Are you a little boy? It's okay. Come here. It's okay. I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but it looks like it's going like back and forth. You see moving? It's okay.
No.
It's
Come
okay.
back. Come back.
Where?
No, you come back. Go straight. Look straight towards me. No. Turn towards me like you were earlier. Put your back towards me. Like you were earlier. Put your back towards me.
As Crystal speaks to what she believes is the spirit of a young boy connected to the room, the camera captures something unusual. For a brief moment, a dark shape, resembling a small child, appears behind her, moving quickly across the space before disappearing. Did Josh and Crystal capture genuine evidence of something supernatural inside Hotel del Coronado? What do you think? Late at night, a group of friends decide to enter a hospital that has been out of service for quite some time. It's not a place they would ever visit alone, but curiosity and rumors about the location push them to go inside. From the outside, it looks like an empty building with no doctors or patients. But inside, many believe there's something else present. The location is the Felix Bulnes Hospital in Santiago, Chile. Even though it's no longer in use, the lights inside are still on. likely powered by an emergency system. But even with the lights on, what happens next is just as unsettling. This is what they captured.
Familia estaba aquí en el pedazo de Bunne. Son las... ¿Qué hora es, familia? ¿Qué hora es? La 1:08. La 1:08.
It happens in just a split second, but when the footage is slowed down, a silhouette can be seen walking past the group. No one noticed it at the time. It wasn't until later, while reviewing the video, that they realized what had been captured. The figure is clearly visible for a brief moment, small in size, with a defined outline. But what makes it even stranger is that it passes right by them, completely unnoticed. That's why they come to the conclusion that it could have been the spirit of a former patient, someone who has already passed, but doesn't even realize it. But whether it was a ghost or not, there's still no clear answer. What do you think this really was? In the following video, a woman named Rosanna shares disturbing footage from inside her home. According to her, strange events began taking place in the apartment. She says she sees things she cannot explain and hears terrifying noises at night that make it impossible to rest. Rosanna decided to document what was happening. Let's watch.
Demain, sous l'abri du Très-Haut, repose à l'abri du Tout-Puissant. Je dis à l'Éternel, mon refuge et ma forteresse, mon Dieu en qui je me confie. Car c'est lui qui te délivre du péril. Was it's
But it didn't end there. Rosanna also spoke about an elderly woman who had recently moved into the apartment below hers. According to her, the neighbor would stare at her intensely every time they met, never breaking eye contact. Rosanna believed she was simply odd, but harmless, until that night when this happened.
Je n'en peux plus. Bon allez, j'appelle les flics. 4h du matin. T'arrives. Elle est dans le noir. Elle est dans le noir. Je vais péter un câble. Je vais péter un câble.
Based on the footage, her neighbor was standing at the door, but it's her gaze that appears unnaturally dark. After this, many began to speculate that the elderly woman might somehow be connected to the strange events happening inside Rosanna's home. So what was she really after? Share your thoughts. A woman was walking calmly down a quiet street at night. when she suddenly heard strange sounds. Later, she discovered that the noises were coming from a well.
¿Escucharon? ¿Escucharon eso? ¿Qué? Se oye allá abajo. ¿Hola? ¿Hola?
When she looked inside, she saw something inexplicable. In the well was a dark silhouette resembling a human, but it was clearly not a person. As she studied it, the creature, realizing it was being watched, let out a strange, terrifying sound. The next video was posted by a man under the username BigfootMe on his TikTok page. According to him, he managed to capture something frightening and unexplained. Late at night, during heavy snowfall, he and his friend took shelter inside a small structure after disturbing screams began echoing from deep within the forest. Their dogs were with them, and they immediately started acting nervous and unsettled. Let's watch the video.
You guys hear that? Dogs in here. Riley. Lola. You guys hear that right? It's right there. What's that noise? You guys hear that? Let's definitely let it go. What is that? There's a couple, for sure. Riley, watch them. This is crazy. Dude, they're everywhere. Where the heck is it? I can't see it. Hey, knock it off. Dude, they're everywhere. You guys hear it? Watch him.
The man claims the screams could belong to a Wendigo, a forest spirit from old legends. According to him, this isn't the first time he's heard those sounds, and each time they seem closer and clearer. He says the screams don't resemble wolves or any known animal. The dogs react the same way every time, freezing, growling, and refusing to go outside. What exactly is hiding in that forest remains unknown, but those who have heard the recording admit the sound is hard to explain. A man named Nikolai says that he arrived at the end of the season to dismantle a haunted house, and he noticed something strange. By the cone lay a doll, broken and disheveled. He didn't even know it existed and had no idea where it came from. But the most terrifying thing, the doll was switched on. Hearing the doll's words, goosebumps ran all over Nikolai's skin.
So this is fucking creepy. We're here breaking down the haunted house for the season. Just casually was walking over here. Just noticed that there's something by the cone.
Do you want to play with me and all my friends? Come out, wherever you are.
This was not in the corn maze. This was not in the house.
Why do you look so scared? Everyone in the graveyard just wants to be friends.
no idea where this came from, and it's powered up.
I love the cemetery, especially at midnight, when it's colder, when the other children are long asleep, and the dead awaken.
Yeah,
Do you want to play with me and all my friends? Come out wherever you are.
That's gonna stay there. That's, yeah. That's gonna stay there. I don't know where it came from. And yeah, this is the life of...
The doll's words were terrifying. It would be one thing if it were Nikolai's doll, but according to him, he didn't even know where this doll came from. The doll itself looked very creepy, tattered and worn, as if it could hear Nikolai's words and was trying to respond in its own way. Every movement it made put him on edge. Nikolai stepped back, unsure of what to do next. Built in 1917, the Santa Maria Inn has long been considered one of California's most mysterious hotels. For decades, guests and staff have reported strange occurrences, footsteps in empty hallways, voices with no source, and doors that open or close on their own. During their stay, Martha and her husband are walking down a hallway with their border collie, Oreo. That's when the dog suddenly begins to behave in a very unusual way.
Tell me he's looking at them. He's looking at them. Look, he's looking at them. He's looking at the bench. Oreo's freaking out, guys. And there's somebody sitting there. He doesn't want to go by it. It's alright, come on. Come on. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oreo suddenly freezes in front of a bench in the hallway. A second later, he jumps back, growls, and refuses to go anywhere near it. He keeps staring at the bench as if something is there, but the creepiest part comes later. When they replay the footage, a strange sound can be heard in the background. Listen carefully.
Did you hear that?
Only later does it become clear that something else was captured in the footage. At the exact moment Oreo runs away from the bench, a faint whisper can be heard in the quiet hallway. The voice seems to repeat, "Come back."
It's alright, come on. Come on.
The video was recorded 6 years ago, but Martha says she only discovered the strange sound recently and now believes her dog reacted to something real. What explanation would you give for this? In this video, a young boy falls asleep on the living room couch after staying up late watching TV by himself. His father, Oscar Nunez, didn't even realize his son was out of his room at the time. According to the family, he occasionally sneaks out to watch television while everyone else is asleep. But the night of December 1st, 2019, turned out to be different. Not long before this incident, the family had already experienced something strange. One evening, they returned home to find dozens of flies gathered around the outside of the house. Oddly enough, the trash bin right next to the home was completely empty. They were never able to explain it. And now, as the boy lies asleep on the couch, the camera captures a moment the family believes may be connected to that earlier incident. father decides to review the security footage. He notices something disturbing. At exactly 3 a.m., a motionless figure appears in the dark hallway. No one in the house is awake at that time. The silhouette simply stands there, without moving. Seconds later, the boy opens his eyes and sees it. His reaction is immediate. He jumps up from the couch and runs into another room. Almost instantly after that, the figure disappears. The hallway is empty again. According to Oscar, this moment became the most frightening of all. Whether it is connected to the recent fly incident remains unknown, but whatever is happening inside their home has yet to be explained. In the next video, a man rents a storage unit filled with rare vintage items. The facility itself already has a reputation for being unsettling, but what's inside his unit is on another level. Among the items is an old toy monkey, which he claims is worth a significant amount of money. At first he didn't want to sell it, but now he wants to get rid of it as soon as possible. Ever since bringing it in, things inside the unit have started acting strangely, moving on their own and making noise. Employees have complained multiple times, even accusing him of staying inside the unit. To prove them wrong, he sets up a camera and ends up capturing something he can't explain.
Watch the video for yourself.
What gets captured on camera looks like something straight out of a horror movie. The toy monkey begins moving on its own. The staff at the facility were just as shaken as the owner of the unit. He believes this object is behind the strange noises employees had been reporting. So far, no one has stepped forward to buy it, and he continues recording it, hoping to capture something else. But for now, nothing more has happened. So what do you think? Is something actually inside the toy, or was it all staged? A woman posted a video on TikTok, footage from her son's room camera. It seemed like an ordinary day. Her son was playing his computer games, but what happened next terrified everyone. No one could really explain what happened. All that's left is to watch and try to understand.
Mom! 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 Something was picking there when I was playing. No, I'm not. That was some black train video. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. I just didn't hear anything. If you don't believe me, check the cameras.
While the boy was playing his games, a dark silhouette appeared behind him. It was tall, motionless, and seemed to be waiting for something. According to the mother, no one else was in the room besides her son. The camera recorded everything, and the video was later posted on TikTok, shocking everyone who watched it. Jess is a certified nursing assistant working the late shift. That night, she's in the psychiatric unit of an old children's hospital in Maine, a place surrounded by unsettling rumors. Alone during her shift, she suddenly notices something that immediately puts her on edge.
Okay, there's nobody here, right? Nobody here. What is that? Because it is not me. This is me leaving, closing the door. What is that? And here comes the door back opening. And nobody's there. But yet. Hi.
In the mirror reflection of the hospital hallway, a dark, human-like figure can be seen standing in front of Jess, even though no one is actually there. Later, one viewer suggests that it could have been the image of a reaper coming to take someone's soul. And the strangest part, Jess confirms that one of her patients passed away the very next day. It's also important to note that she has never posted anything paranormal before, only regular content about her life and work, which makes this footage even more difficult to explain. So, what was it really? Just a coincidence or something more? The following video was posted on TikTok by a girl named Hansel. She claims that something unknown has started making its presence felt in their house again. On February 27th, around 5 a.m., their house helper was already awake but still lying down with her phone. Suddenly, she heard her name, Len. And the voice sounded exactly like Hansel's mother. She got scared and didn't understand why no one knocked on the door and only called her name once. The helper quickly got up, opened the door, and stepped out of her room, but no one was there. Hansel's mother was still asleep, and the house was completely quiet. When the homeowners woke up, the helper told them what had happened. That's when they decided to review the CCTV footage to check if it really occurred. They checked all the cameras, including the one in the parents' bedroom. The voice could be clearly heard even there, while the parents were sleeping. Hansel's mother was clearly asleep at that moment. Then, Hansel's mom reviewed the CCTV footage from February 16th because she wanted to see who had kicked something behind her. But they didn't expect the recording to capture something strange again. Someone called Hansel's younger sister by the name Naning. Naning isn't her real name. It's just a nickname used only inside the family. The voice that called her sounded exactly like her father and perfectly copied the way he usually calls her. And at that moment, the whole family was asleep. Something terrifying is happening in this house. What do you think about it? A girl was filming her small attic room, which was covered in dirt and dust. She says she had only been there twice and had tidied up a little before filming. At first, the video seemed cute and ordinary, but suddenly she showed a hole, and when she pointed the camera inside, something unexpected appeared in the frame.
So I have this little room up in my attic, and I want to show you guys what I found in here. But first, look at this. I've been up here 2 times. I've lived in this house for 3 years, and I've been here. This will be my 2nd time. And I started doing some picking up, but that's my house down there. And this is, so if you close the door, look how tiny it is. But look at the doorknob. It's literally a foot away from the ground. Look at that. Isn't that weird? Okay, so anyways, let me just open that up real quick. I found this little guy up here. He has like a little thing to put batteries, which I'm going to try and see if it works. That'll be so cool, but it's so old and dusty. And I found him back here in this hole. I covered it back up because it's a little scary, but it's full of things. What was that?
When she looked inside the hole, she noticed another one. And it was from this second hole that someone peered straight into the camera and quickly stepped back. It was almost impossible to tell who it was. Maybe it was a friend or a relative, but the woman was very frightened and later said that she was alone at home. No one else was there. A few days later, she posted a follow-up on TikTok and explained everything in detail. To those who thought the hole led down or to another room, she showed on video that there was no hole underneath at all. She also said that she was home alone and simply cannot explain what happened that day.
All right, guys, real quick. This is the hole that leads up to the attic, that leads to the room that goes this way. So once you go up to the attic, the door is right here, and then the big room is here. And I don't have a drop down, so I've been using this 6-foot ladder to go up there. And I have to climb my way up the last half because I don't have a long enough ladder. But the intention was to go up there to put these things and use that as a closet upstairs. But anywho, let me show you that there's no holes on the ceilings real quick. So that's one. This is a room, and there's no holes up there. Just this big hole that leads up to the attic. And then the living room, there's no holes. Okay, there's a room, there's a hole there, but that's a vent, so I mean it's you can't really see what was seen on the previous video. Plus I was by myself, there was nobody in here, there was nobody walking around. This is the closet, and then there's one more. Let me show you guys. This is another room. Again, no holes in the ceilings, another vent, but no like visible holes that you could see through. And then the closet, no holes, but there is a weird little door again. I don't know what's up with the weird little doors. That one's sealed. You can't open it. It's sealed. Let's go upstairs.
And in the lower floor, there really was nothing. No hole, no windows leading to the attic. Perhaps she's hiding something, or maybe there really is a hole in her attic that leads to who knows where.
Here already, and I got to the room, and I want to show you guys. I cleaned up a little bit, but to answer some of your questions, someone asked, what does this window lead to right next to the door? And I don't know. It's sealed, and there's like, yeah, it's just covered with siding. And then how did the furniture get up here? I'm assuming somebody built this up here. However, I don't know how this chair got up here. It's pretty big. I'm assuming right before they built the room, maybe they put it up here. I don't know. And then for the hole, there, as you can see, there's electricity. Oh, something else. These cables, these were all plugged in, and they go this way. Let me grab this light. So I'm gonna show you guys. But you go here. 1 second, because so the wires go all the way in here, and they're connected to something. There's more trash on this side of the house. See? Oh shit, there's a big ass one. Okay, so that's that side, right? The left side. But the right side, let's go take a look at the right side real quick. It's so hot in here. Oh boy. Okay. So there's no mirrors. I know you guys were saying, oh, there's a mirror. There's no mirror. No holes. Just trash. Like, I don't know.
When she showed the inside of that hole for the second time, the second hole that had been inside disappeared. Where did it go? The woman said there was no hole here at all. So what did we see in the previous video? The hole itself is now secondary. What's much more intriguing is who or what was inside and peered into the camera. In the previous video, a quick movement can be seen, but it's impossible to tell who or what it was. A TikTok user known as Cheeky Chica says her grandfather collects old antique dolls and mannequins. Every time she visits, being around them makes her feel uneasy. One night, she's on her laptop in a room filled with these dolls when she suddenly notices something that sends chills down her spine.
This thing just moved.
Boy, all of the talking heads would have been screaming about the Dallas Cowboys and sticking forward in this organization. So again, kudos to the Cowboys going on the road, getting a good win, see how they react. There's a saying in golf, there's no pictures of the scorecard. You're down, you don't care, it's about $5 you just happy that you're moving 2-2. The injury to Parsons, and he's not done anything at this point, he just let by part without a shoe off. How do you what the fuck? The defense is struggling, but it feels a lot better if he's out of the feet. I mean, that would be, if he's missing any significant time, that would be a huge loss. He's their best. He's their best player.
Oh my god. The door just moved.
Winning percentage north of 60% when they're raising up.
33 propels 100 affordable housing laws, including many.
Quiet early on, much more involved, particularly
the safety over the top, and you'll see right down here. Ending ever, a free personal Mizuki dessert. An entree plus free dessert, just $13. That's a sweet deal. Yes.
Level and we weren't able to pick a field goal late. There's a lot of involved.
Are you real? You can do it again. I won't watch.
At first, Chica is disturbed by the doll and leaves the room. As she steps out, the door slowly closes on its own. But she decides to go back in. Trying to understand what's happening, she records the doll again. And this time, something strange occurs. In the mirror's reflection, the doll's hand can be seen slowly moving across its knee. But the key moment happens just before that. A shadow passes across the wall, moving directly toward the doll. And only then does it begin to move.